In all Word documentation, it automatically gives you page breaks. If I scroll down, you can see that Word has automatically given us a page break just along here. But of course, there are times when you want to dictate exactly where a page break goes. And there's a couple of ways of doing this. I'll give you the way through the ribbon bar and the way with a keyboard shortcut. If, for example, we come down here and you decide that you want to have this article called Events begin at the next page. Now, what most people would normally do is they would click just above the word Events and then press the Enter key several times to nudge this down. That's the incorrect way. What you need to do is to put in a manual page break. Remember, this page break here was put in automatically by Word. So we need to put in a manual page break, and the way you do that is you click where you want the page break to go. So I've clicked just in front of the subtitle Events. I'm then going to go to the Layout ribbon and look for the button here called Breaks. And when I click on that, that gives me several choices. And if you look in the top half, we have the page break, the column break, and text wrapping. Text wrapping only applies when you're doing web design. If we look here, the page break, I can force it to put a new page break where the page ends. So when I click on this, you'll notice that the word event was forced down onto the top of the next page. And that's because this page break here is now one that I put in manually. Now I can see that if I turn on the show and hide button, which is in the home ribbon, and the show and hide button, and there you can see is a manual page break. Now you would not see that if you hadn't put that in yourself. I can turn off the show and hide, just there, toggle it on and off. So what I could do is come down my page, and it might be that I've decided that I want this Beacon Hill to begin at the top of the next page. So if I click just in front, now I can go through the Layout ribbon again, but there is a keyboard shortcut, and the keyboard shortcut is holding down the Control key while you press Enter. So if I hold Control, tap the Enter key, there you can see I've put in another page break that forces this to start at the top of the next page. So this page break being placed manually can help you lay out the document exactly how you want it to appear to the reader. Now there's also another thing called column break. Now if we were to put a column on here, say for example we make this 2 columns, again covered in other courses. Here we got 2 columns, and I want to put a column break here because I want this title here, Salem, to appear at the top of the next column. Rather than just press Enter, I'm going to click just in front of Salem. I'm then going to go into my breaks and choose column break. And there you can see is that it puts in a column break to force what's in this column at the top of the next column. Now, some people say, what's the difference between a page break and a section break? Because they look very similar. Let me give you an example on this particular document here. Here we've got multiple pages. If I have a page break here, which I've got a page break here and here, if I was to turn this page around so that it turns a landscape, and let me just do that, and turn it landscape, you can see the problem I've got is that all of the pages suddenly become landscape. Let's undo that. But what if I isolate this page here so that if I turn this landscape, it doesn't affect the pages above and below? It's almost like you're putting a fence at the top and the bottom. So let's zoom in and let's put in a break here. So just in front of history, I'm going to go to the breaks, and instead of putting a page break, I'm going to put a section break called next page. So here we've got the section break above and below this. If I click on this page and turn this landscape, watch what happens.